Hey everyone, hope everybody's having a lovely Monday, New Year's. Mine's okay. I'm gonna make a book tonight from start to finish. It's ambitious, I know. I'll do my best to look at the comments. And that way, if you guys have any questions, I will try to answer them as best as I can. I'm just going to go right into it. I got a piece of chipboard, 50 point. That's what kind it is. And I'm going to measure out. This is going to be the cover. Cover is 8.5 by 6. The spine is 8.5 by 2. That's all I'm doing for the moment. And then I'll show you how to do the signatures. And we'll get them sewn in. And I'll show you what paper I'm using because it's gorgeous. Some other little tricks. Y'all tell me how you guys are doing. Hope you guys are having a good start to the new year. Do you guys hear me snacking or lip smacking? It's because I have cough drops in my mouth. It keeps me from coughing. My asthma is still flaring up everywhere, but it's getting better. Oh, you're welcome. I don't mind. I find it actually fascinating that people find this fascinating. I like that, just, it like blows my mind. My husband, he loves seeing the bookmaking process. And he finds it very interesting. Also, if you hear a screaming little toddler, sorry, that's Ruby. And she gets kind of cantankerous in the evening time. Like, she gets really crazy wound up. She does not like having a nap during the day. So, yeah. Very noisy. So, sorry if she interrupts the therapeutic making of my book. That's just a little spice we add into it, I guess. Part of having 4 kids. By the way, when you're cutting chipboard, do not try to press it all the way through. Oh my gosh. I always try to just make a little indent in there. These are 8.5 by 6. Chipboard, 50 point. Just making, if you follow me on here, it's the hardback one that I make a lot of. I kind of have been tinkering with making a thicker spine. It's just a hardback journal book. And I think I'm going to make it a writing journal. And that way, a lot of people like the writing pages in it. And I'll show you that in just a second. I have them over here. And I don't know. People like the lines and the journals. So my journals, you can pretty much use them for anything. You want to make an art journal, writing journal, bullet journal, whatever you want. Photos. I have lots of people do all kinds of stuff with it. I think I'm going to do just the regular 2-inch spine, which is how my original book is. The last book I did was 2.5, which is nice because it gives extra room if people want to add in ephemera or photos or extra paper and stuff. And then that way it doesn't look like me after the holidays and I just went to town gorging on all the goodies and stuff like that. Busting out everywhere. I call them muffin top books because they look huge. So that's what we're going to work on. And now I can make probably 3 or 4 of these books if I worked on them from morning until night. So we're going to try to get this one finished. I think I can do it as long as I don't get distracted. But I get distracted by a lot of stuff. I have squirrel moments. Let me turn the sound, my notifications off on my phone here because, hey, how are you doing, Jenny? All right. So I do my covers a tad differently. And if you guys could share this live, like, and all that stuff, because if you don't, then I have to do it, and then I have to stop like every 5 minutes, and it's kind of annoying. So let me show you what paper pad I'm using, because I'm really excited about this one. It is somewhere right here. I already have the papers torn out. I'm going to show you. Oh, here it is. I needed to find the cover. All right. And I only use Stamperia because I work for them and I'm a distributor. And I sell these papers in my Etsy shop for them. Everyone who doesn't work for Stamperia, you can't buy from them directly. You have to go through somebody like me, a distributor on Etsy or Amazon or wherever. So this pad is the Imagine, and it says a maxi pad set. I know, it's funny. I told them that's like hilarious, but it has 22 papers in this whole pad. And yes, I'm making a book, of course. So I like the 22 pads. There's only 3 of them. One is this set, which is the Imagine set. And let me see if I can find the back page, because I'll show you all the page. See, it comes with all of these in here. It comes with tags and some of the page, I think there's like 1 or 2 that are duplicate pages, but this is like amazing because then I don't have to use 2 pads of the same paper in order to make this book. So it's very pretty. And this is going to be the cover. And I just so happen to have a duplicate page in there, which is nice. So this is going to be the back cover too. I've never had a book that has matching covers. I always end up having to, you know, work with what I got. So it's really pretty paper, and I've been wanting to make a book out of this for a while. And like I said, it's got 22 sheets. The standard packs of Stamperia is 10 sheets. So you get double. And they're all double-faced, which is amazing. So that's what I'm going to use on this cover. And there's only, like I said, 3 that come in the huge packs like that. One is the Imagine. The other one is Voyager or Voyages, and it's all like the travel steampunk type papers kind of mixed in together, 22 sheets. And then the other one is Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. And it's a combination of those two as well. So that is also awesome. And I wish they would do this more with like the flowers and the pretty ones. So this is going to be the cover. And I think I can also get the spine out of here. So whenever I choose my cover, I like to choose the best part of the paper. And this really doesn't have any not good parts. So, I mean, I could go like anywhere. But again, this is a 6, what did I say it was? 8.5 by 6 chipboard 50 point. And whenever you are making the cover, I do my covers differently. And there's a reason for that. I like them to lay flat. My books to lay like one of these books. I want it to be able to do that. This is why I do my covers the way they do. And they hold up very nicely because I make sure I like secure them very well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it like this. And you want to have maybe about an inch around your chipboard. So let me get my cutter, wherever I put that. And this is how I usually do it. Usually you could just stick it. And if you're unsure where, just use your chipboard right here as a kind of a guide. And then just move it out of the way. And don't throw any of these away. You can use those for extra goodies to make for your book. No, I don't like using fabric on books. I have, let's see. Here's one that I've used a leather, faux leather on the book. And the only time I will do it this way to where it's not in pieces right here is if it's like a piece of fabric. That's the only time I do that. I would not recommend doing paper like this. It never works. It will always bunch up right here. And when I use paper, I do it in 3 sections, mostly because the size of my books, you can't get a bigger, the sheets won't fit. The cover's too big. So, but yes, I like doing the paper on it, only because this paper is amazing. And sometimes I think it's a little bit prettier than the fabric. But I've done fabric ones. So, here is that. And what I'm going to do, we're going to flip this over. I don't waste any of this paper either. Usually I use the front and back page like this, or what I call a dummy page, where it's like this on one side. I'll use these for liners in my books because I hate wasting paper. And never use liquid glue if you're going to use paper on the spine, on the cover or spine. Never. Use one of these bad boys right here. They work pretty good. This one's out of thing. Let me actually make sure it has tape in it though first. The only thing I don't like about this chipboard is it's a little bit different from the original one that I would use, which was like, I think 55 point. And sometimes it's a booger and will kind of peel off while you're doing this part. But if you do it kind of slow like this, I have a tendency to kind of whip it around and do it quick. And of course I run out of that. And always buy these things in bulk. They're amazing. After I found out the secret to, like that, they like to do that. After I found the secret to keep them from clogging up was to take a pair of pliers and cut this part out. They've been working pretty good ever since. So I just take that. This also causes it not to bubble up like liquid glue would do, because liquid glue sucks with paper. Bad. And it keeps it nice and flat like that. And see, you have no bubbles. And then what I do with this is I use the paper and I fold it, and this is going to give me my guidelines to where I'm going to trim it down. And then I use liquid glue to glue to the chipboard, because this will be right here, and there will be a liner over this and other stuff, so that doesn't matter. So then you have these folded lines, and you'll see a fold here and a fold here, here, and in each corner. And then let me find me a pair of scissors. What I usually do is you want to kind of cut it to the corner like this, and then like that. Sometimes I skip this step and I'll just go that way, but it has a tendency to work just a hair better if you do it this way. So I'm going to show you the right way to do it, not my impatient way to do it. But you just cut it like that at a 90-degree angle on all corners, and it will make it a lot easier, and it will cover up the corners so you don't have any exposed points, which some on the outside corners I always put metal book corners, so that way it will not get all dinged up, because I don't know about you guys, but I am rough with my books, especially if I'm doing things in them. And so what you can also do is, I know a lot of people will cut it on an angle. You don't have to do that for every single one. You can actually just leave it, glue this down just like this, and then just do it for this one. Just make sure that's not hanging over too much like that. I want to double check them just to make sure I'm at a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to this, especially if I'm making it for somebody else. Myself, I don't really care that much about, but I want to make sure that it's good for anyone who may buy it or anything like that. Hang on, somebody was trying. Yep, I'm working on a journal cover. I'm working on a book. I'm going to make a whole book. Let's see if I can do it in like 2 hours. I'm going to do it in less than 2 hours, because I'm ambitious tonight. I've already worked out 2 hours today. I homeschooled 3 of my kids because one's graduated already. I'm like raring to go. I'm ready. So unless I get distracted. Like I just forgot about these. So I'm gonna cut these little angles right here on these ones. And I'm also going to be doing lives from now on, probably on Monday, because I don't want to step on anybody's toes, for other people who've been doing lives for a while, like Nikki, and I call her the Golden Book Lady. Everyone else in there. Okay. Oh, this is the glue right here. If you want it to hold, metals, anything, this is what you need right here. This works the best. I use the 3-in-1 Beacons 3-in-1 only when I'm doing like the paper embellishment stuff because it's clear. This says it dries clear, and it does a little bit, but not like how I like it, so I use the Beacons 3-in-1 for that. And then I'm just gonna glue this, and I'm gonna work on the pages. I usually let this dry like overnight. I don't have to. I've made like 3 or 4 of them in one day before, but we'll make sure that it's good and dry before we start messing, because if you mess with something when it's not dry, chances are it will mess up the integrity of the book, and they will usually fall apart. We don't want it to fall apart. You can also use a hair dryer or fan, you know, to kind of accelerate the drying process, and that works. So you're basically just wrapping the front like this, just like you would kind of like a present, and just don't worry about this because this is going to have a page liner in it. And if you have a little bit exposed on your corners, don't worry. I'll show you how you can make them look super nice. See, I mean, there's a tiny, tiny little hole right there. Those are going to have book corners on them. And like I said, don't use liquid glue on this part. See, it's all perfectly flat, no bubbles, nothing. And you can also use one of these things, kind of smooth it out on here, but this is also going to be covered over with another page to cover this up. So that is going to be probably the front cover. Since back cover and the front cover are kind of the same, I'll kind of move it over a little bit on the page. So one part of the cover is done. Here's the next cover. And then we'll do the spine, which will be easy. That's what you can use these spare pieces for. Work out pretty good. So I think I'm going to do the other side. I'm trying to see where. Oh, okay. I'm going to do it probably like right here. Just about an inch around everything. Well, thank you guys for the likes. And like I said, if you guys could share it, so that way I don't have to stop what I'm doing to share the live. I always forget to anyway. I'm just going to do the other side. And then what we'll do is after we put the cover together, we're going to start sewing the signatures and all that good stuff, which is not hard. If you have any kind of concept of hand sewing, it's universal in anything you're doing. Whether it's leather, fabric, paper, it's all universal. I know some people get kind of wigged out about that. Alright, let me find another tape here. Because I know I'm going to run out. We're just doing the same thing to this one. And then I'll show you the spine. And the spine is where I usually do it different than other people. I actually do the spine the way a normal book that's made in like a book plan is made. Because I've taken books apart and kind of experimented with it, and I found that this way is easier. It works the best when your glue runner isn't being weird. Put that there. Yeah, I am in my own world, sorry. I have such bad ADD that I have a lot of squirrel moments. You should see when nobody's here. I still talk to myself. And I answer my own questions. I'll try to look up once in a while. That way, that way I can answer you guys' questions. And if I don't answer it because I'm not looking up, just ask it again. Eventually, I'll see it. I'm just cutting the corners off. See, this is what the back will look like. There's also on Etsy, I don't know why I haven't bought this stupid thing yet, but there's somebody on there that has this metal corner thing for books. But I'm just like, do I really need another gadget? And part of me says, yep. And part of me says, no, you don't. Why do you need that? You don't need that. Just do it this way and it's fine. Did I sell the Bonnie Blue? Are you talking about that big book that I had? Oh yeah, I've used Mod Podge quite a bit. Hang on. Okay, Bonnie Blue. Is that the... Are you talking about the tiny blue book that I had on... The tiny, oh yeah, gosh, that's old. I don't even remember when I made that. Oh my gosh. I was like thinking before October. Oh, the bigger one? No, that was for my mother-in-law for Christmas. I couldn't say who it was for because in case she saw. The other one that had like pomegranates on it, it's called Casa Granada. That was for my husband's grandmother for Christmas. And then the rose perfume one was for my grandmother for Christmas. And my grandmother is sneaky. Apparently, she's on TikTok and she saw that. And I said, what's your username? And she won't tell me what her username is because she wants to spy on me, I guess. I don't know. She's like 89 years old, so she could be on here right now. I don't know. She's a little bit... She's like me, but 89, basically. So she's weird, too. I'm getting more of that paper in. They are closed until tomorrow, I think. And so any of the distributors couldn't make any orders. The last day for orders was like the 15th of December. So I couldn't get any more paper in before the new year. But I did order some of that. And I'll probably make another book like that. Everybody likes that blue one. That blue paper. And I'm also, I gotta use some of that for a collaboration thing that I'm doing with one of the other lovelies on here. And, but I always tell my husband, and he loves that paper, and I said, I hate blue. I hate the color blue so much. I was born in September, and my birthstone is a sapphire, and I hate it. I'm not a fan of blue, and everybody loves the blue one. And, so anytime I make a blue one, and everybody's like, oh, it's gorgeous. I'm like, oh, thank you. I think it's ugly, but okay. So thank you for like it. Is that good? It is. Oh, well, it would help if the stupid Hobby Lobby sticker wasn't in the way. It's called Crafter's Pick Ultimate. Let me see if I can get it off. It's the only kind of glue that I use. It works fantastic. You see what it does everything. Metals, plastics, glass, chipboard fabric. And if you're fortunate enough to live by a Hobby Lobby, get it from Hobby Lobby. It's $5.49, and get it from Hobby Lobby when it's on sale. So it works fantastic. I use Beacon's 3-in-1 for other things because it's clear. But if I'm doing anything with metal or anything, if I'm doing metal on metal, I use this right here. I have no idea what it is. My husband gave it to me and said it's for metal on metal. And Beacon's 3-in-1, I think I have the bottle to that one somewhere. I usually take it out of that bottle and I put it in these icing bottles because I don't have to put a lid on it and it doesn't go bad. And it's in this right here. And it's these sweet Sugar Bell icing bottles. And it works fantastic. I've had it in there for over a month. Ain't even bad yet. And that is the rebellious glue that likes to bubble all over the place. If you keep it in the original bottle and it gets to like, I don't know, like 3/4 of the way down, it will sit there and it starts talking back. Yes, it is 50-point chipboard. I have made books out of this paper by itself with no chipboard. Not this size. Little books, yes, not big books. I don't recommend that. But I find that chipboard works the best. I've made I made books out of cereal boxes, but that's way too thin. Alright, there's the back. So we got front, back. Now we gotta do the spine, and I'm gonna show you why I put it together the way that I do. Let's see. I think I'm gonna use this one maybe for the spine. Make sure. Oh yeah, it's big enough. Or I could use this. See, I'm so weird. I can never like match up anything. Thank you. They're press-ons because I'm lazy and won't go get my nails done. I'm cheap and lazy. Won't go get my nails done. So I use nail glue and I put press-ons on. So that way, is this one out? That way because I'm a nail biter bad. And I will, if I don't have something on, I'll have nubs. That's it. Because I'm terrible at it. That's a mood. Yeah, it is a mood. I'm a mood all in itself. I'm very odd. I don't know why my husband put up with my weirdness. Alright. Well, I'm going to do this one exactly the same way. About 1 inch around the spine. I'm just going to use a pair of scissors to cut this off. Now this one, I am not folding, or I'm not going to glue all the way around. I'm going to show you why. So I'm just going to fold it like the others, and then I'm going to cut it. I also found that if you want to do the eyelets in the spine or poke holes or anything, do it now with this. Don't wait until your whole book is attached, because when you do it like this, you can use, alright, where'd you go? You can use one of those handheld, you can use one of these, and you don't have to have the crapodile one. This one, big one. You don't have to have that one to do that. So, FYI, do your eyelets like this. I usually do 3. And see, what I usually do is I'll come over here and I'll kind of move this out of the way. And you could do it that way. Or I'll use the the big one and do it that way. Just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. My husband fixed my big one. So, look at it. You see that? You see the scratches? My husband welded that and put that in to fix this little monster. And it still is not right. See, it goes, what? Does this, that. Not supposed to do that. Hopefully, they'll get their butts in gear, get the new ones in. And my spine is 2 by 8.5. This is how the standard one that I did, the last book I did, that's a Spanish looking one, that was 2.5. I made it just a little bit wider. Your spine is really going to tell you also, if you got a lot of pages in your book, which this one does, you want to have a thicker spine, because then you can squeeze more in it, and it won't be all busting out muffin top if you just put a few things in there. I'm doing a writing journal, which should be used mostly for writing, but I guess it could be used for whatever you want, if you don't mind it being all chunky monkey like that. And that's why I just did my standard 2-inch spine. I don't know, I just like the 2-inch spine because it feels like a book to me. And I don't know, I just like it. Okay. So I'm gonna cut these at an angle. I guess I don't even really have to cut these. It's a force of habit. Alright, and I'm going to show you how I do the spine, because it is different. I do not hook it to the outside of the book. First thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to only glue these two down, and these little flaps are going to stick out. I always get a lot of questions, why do you do it this way? It's because I like it to... I've tried it both ways, and this way just works better for me, and I like it to be able to open all the way and lay flat and not be weird. What? You're talking about that? Oh, it's my coffee warmer. It's a cat. I just do that so it doesn't leave rings on my desk. Oh, the eyelets? Yeah, booger heads. I hate those eyelets. I hate them. Me and the eyelets, we have words. Alright. I'll go ahead and do the eyelets now before I attach the spine. I want to do bronze because I just think it goes better. I could do gold. Silver, no. I'm thinking, what do you think? Bronze? I also have a cough drop in my mouth, which I'm going to have to put another one in or I'll start coughing. My asthma just flares up really, really bad in the evening time. And cough drops help me from gasping for air and sounds like I'm dying. Alright, here we go. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I thought, Braun. Okay, so I have, this is like my little black book. I got this from Dollar Tree, and it's literally filled with all my secrets. And so I have the spine holes right here. And this is how I do it. If you know how to take a screenshot on your phone, do it now. Or if you're writing notes, then write it down. Get a sticky note. So, I like to leave a gap here in the middle because I always like to decorate the spine with some little embellishment there. And I just, hey, Nikki. So, I like to leave this big hole here. That's just my thing. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. But I always do it. I have 3 holes. The middle hole is 1 inch from the edge. And then this one is 1/4, and that one's 1.75. Then from here, from the bottom to here is 0.75. And then 2.5, 6, and 7 going, you know, like if you were going up from the bottom, which I'll show you right now. It's pretty easy. Let me find my... And I don't know why I don't make a template for this. I think because the thought of making a template makes me want to gouge my eyes out, and I would never use it. And I'm just like, it takes me just a second to sit here and measure it and find my pencil that I lost. There we go. Alright, so go from... And you can write all over this because there's going to be a sheet over this as soon as I poke the holes. I like to cover everything up. I also put sheets in between my signatures to keep them in place. So that way they don't move around. Alright. 1.75 and then 1/4 right there. But yeah, it's really not hard. And then if I bump the thing, sorry, I gotta kind of get in here so I can see what's happening. Make sure everything's all kind of lined up. But if you want to make a template with it, you can. I mean, if you're going to make a lot of books like that, then I probably would. But since I'm always changing my mind and making skinny spines, fat spines, I don't even bother. I just kind of just measure it equally. Alright. And then you're going to take it from the edge. Let's see, what was it? 0.75. And then we have 2.5. We have 6. And then 7.75. And I always like to make sure that it's the same from the top and the bottom, because if you don't, you may have mismeasured. You don't want to mismeasure. I've been there, done that, and I'm like, what did you do? I had a moment. And then, let's see. So again, it's 0.75, 2.5, 6, and 7.75. If you're going from one way. And I know this seems like a lot, but I like to make sure they're even. Need to keep track of my time here. My clock went off and now it's doing all heart stuff. And there it is. Alright. May's asking a question. I'll look here in just a minute. Okay. So, looks like that. Then what I do is I just draw little circles right here about how my eyelets would look, only because it's easier to line them up. And you're not going to see any of this. And then I'll just, if I get an inkling to do it, I just erase all this when I'm done. Alright, so that's where the eyelets are going to go. All right there. So, if you don't want to have the big, huge crocodile one, you can do it with this. And let me make sure I get all that extra paper stuck in here out. I use the big side right here. I rarely ever use tinies right here. And just even it up to where it's in the circle. Click it out. Make sure my paper gets out. And then, and I've done the middle ones like this too. It takes a little maneuvering, but you can actually do it with these. So that way, if you don't want to buy yourself a crocodile big one, see if I can get it in there. May have to use a big one. I don't really want to bend up the paper, but you can actually get it in there. Let me get all these papers out. I did this one time and I was like, why didn't I think of this before? Hang on. I got papers stuck in my thing. But yeah, you can. But I don't want to fold up the paper. So I'm going to use the booger butt right here. It's set on 3/16. I don't use it. Well, I use it a little bit. Not much. Because it kind of backfires a little bit. And it's loud. See, watch it. That's the problem with it. I'm hoping they'll replace it here pretty soon. If they don't, I'll probably just go and get another one for right now. And then probably have my husband modify it. I don't have to deal with this crap anymore. I think it just can't handle what it's used for. Alright, there it is. Okay. Now, the eyelets. Let me think how I'll do this. What I usually do is I'll usually cover this over once it's in the book. Because I don't like to see all this. Let me find me. Wait. Alright. So, when you have eyelets, they're actually called grommets. Not eyelets, but they're grommets. Grommets and washers. So if you can't find them, that's probably why. It's because maybe calling them eyelets. But the standard size for them is usually the 3/16 or 4 millimeters, 4 or 5 millimeters. That's what these are. These are kind of short and they have a little bit of finickiness going through this, but with a little bit of caress, I can make it work. And when you set your crocodile, you have a 1. You don't want to use 1 on these. You want to use number 2, and you want to use, what letter is that? Is that A on the, whatever this one is, on the top. I think it's A and number 2 on the bottom. And I'll show you why here in a second. If you use the big one, it will mess this part up. You don't want to do that. And so, and you usually want to use the washers anyway because it just looks nicer. I'm hoping that big crocodile will work pretty well. And usually don't have to squeeze that much. This one's actually nicer because you don't have to like force it. I don't like having to force it. It's just real like that. And as you can see, it kind of rolls over this. It's not pretty, but, and it's usually because the thicker you are trying to get it through, the more it does not like to go through. But they don't really make the tools for the bigger ones that you should probably use with this for thicker material. They don't do very well with it. So, but we'll make it work with what we got. Life gives you lemons. I always say you make lemon heads with them. Nah, look at that one. That one's right on the flower. That was done by accident, but it looks good. That's a happy accident. All right. We'll see what Moody is going to do with these middle grommets. Hopefully it won't be too difficult. Always have to stand up to use that thing. Hope if I put one of them in there. Alright. See, that one came out really good. That's the way it's supposed to look right there. Even on the big one. But, and I didn't even know that because this one never did that before my husband fixed it. So, let's switch this bad boy over here. I'm going to switch bottom. Let's say a little prayer. Hope it works and doesn't do something stupid. I gotta stand up for this one. Oh my god, it actually worked. Must be in a good mood today. Let's not jinx it. I think my crocodile just likes to be told it's pretty and how wonderful it is, and then it will work. Yeah, work. All right. I guess I need to do this kind of stuff on live and just be like, I'm going to hop on here real quick just so my crocodile will work right in front of other people. Weird. Oh God, that sounded bad. Oh no, it did it. Usually if it makes a weird noise like that, it's something happened. You should not have to kill yourself either trying to push it down. So if yours works like that, something's wrong. I wish that other brands made these, I swear me and my husband are gonna get together and make a better one. Oh, that hinge that holds it together broke. It came unwelded, and that was in August. This part. It's got a bunch of scratches on it because my husband modified it and put that back in there and made it work right. So, that's what was wrong with it. It just broke out one day. And I was like, what? And I only had it, I got it in, I think it was June of this year. And it broke like the beginning of August. And I was mad. Like, this is bull crap. It's usually my thing for everything. Alright. Time to put on the cover. Let me make sure the writing's the right way, because I have done that before and I was mad. And, okay, let me fold this. And then we can put the liner in, and then I'll show you the pages. I don't always put binding tape on here, but I'll do it this time. So I just line it up. I'll overlap it like this. This is my smoother thing here that I've had for, like, oh my gosh, when I had my first Cricut machine, and it was that was like 2008, maybe 2007, and I've been using it ever since. See, it says Cricut on it. And the machine is actually in my daughter's room, and she uses it to this day. It's the one that took the cartridges. A space between the cover and binding. I'll just do it like... I have a Cricut machine, and I haven't tried doing this because it does not do circles very well. I have, like, I don't know, like 9 different attachments for that machine, but I haven't tried it. I just, to me, it would just take too long, and I think it would be easier to do it this way. Like I said, this glue is amazing. Just make sure your things are even when you put it here. The other thing is that you don't want to, like, push it this way, because then you will, you'll push the spine part that way, and you don't want to do that. And I'll show you what I'm going to do in a minute. I always use too much glue. That's why I always use this, to kind of get the excess out and to kind of make it real smooth. It's always goobied it up with glue. Alright. Now, let me make sure the writing's right. Yep. Okay, so you see how it lays flat? So what I usually do, I do it this way, because we go like this, it's just easier. And I like it. It looks nicer. And it's actually how regular books are made before they put the cover on. I didn't know that until I kind of was fiddling with it and seeing, you know, how kind of teaching myself how to make books and stuff. I want to make sure. And when you do it this way, there's going to be several things. Let me get all the, make sure there's nothing on it. There's going to be several things over this also, holding it in and on the outside. The first being binding tape. I have no idea what that is. What is that? Is it Tvec? I'm always looking for stuff to strengthen anything or using new stuff. That doesn't. I love using new techniques. I'm gonna move this for a second so I can cut this binding tape. Go 8, maybe a little less than 8.5. You can do 8.5, but I'm going to do just a hair less so it doesn't stick off the edges. Let's see. And I have no idea what brand this binding tape is. I saved it in my journal supplies list in the link in my bio under bookbinding. So it takes you all to Amazon, and everything that I used or I bought off of Amazon is there for all of this. So that way I don't have to try to remember the million things that I have bought off of Amazon. I like to compose them all in list, and then I can go back if I need more and go back to it. Just gonna stick this right. Make sure I'm not. Make sure you have it lined up before you stick it down. This, and it's really good. Once I stick it down, it ain't going nowhere. And then I'm going to put the liner over this. And then on the outside, I like to do like a ribbon on the edges. Yes, I do. It's not a lot. I get a tiny commission off of it. Like if somebody, it depends on what people buy off of Amazon. If you get a good commission. I had somebody buy a Samsung tablet for Christmas, and I got like $5 off that. Now I was like, what the heck? But if like you buy paper, I get like 70 cents off of it. It's not a lot, but you know, I just like to help people find the stuff because I really wish that I had somebody helping me when I first started. And there is a cover, and see, no bumps because we didn't use liquid glue on it. And this will hold it in really good. And we're going to put a liner over this and a liner over this. And what I'll do is I'll probably punch the holes again, but that way it covers these metal pieces up here, but not on the outside. And you can use as much binding tape as you want, too, on it. But that way, we'll have liners over this, this, and this. And then, what I'll do is we'll go ahead and do the liners for this. And then we'll look at the paper. Oh, the flower. That is amazing. I couldn't have planned it better than myself. That was a happy accident. But this paper is gorgeous. This is my favorite part, is looking at them. We'll put the liners on, then you can put the corners on. And usually I will leave this overnight just like this, let it sit. But I'm just gonna wing it. And, oh, let me do the liner. See, I'm already forgetting. And I'm gonna use this for the inner liners. I may not have enough of this, but we can also use some of the scrap pieces. My desk is already messy for the, what's it called? the spine thing in the middle. I like using kind of different papers because it's just my, oh yeah, we can use this right here. It's about the same as the other one. And we'll do this. And then I usually put the liners over that, like that. So, I always forget what the size of my liners are. I always end up having to measure. You think one of these days I would actually write that down so I don't have to keep remembering. And now I lost my ruler again. My little one. Oh, there it is. My favorite part, though, of bookmaking is embellishing it. I like to embellish it. That's my favorite part. So, I already know it's going to be 8.5 that way. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it... that's right. I make it about 5.75. Now I'm going to write it down. That way I don't have to remember again. 5.75 by... probably 8.25 because I don't want it to go all the way to the edge. Maybe 8 point, maybe a little over 8.25, close to 8.5. So that way it will cover that up. All right. So let me move this. Lost my cutter again. This paper is Imagine. It's the huge Stamperia paper pack that they sell. Well, that I sell. And it has oh, here it is. I thought I used it already. That's what it is. It has 22 sheets in it, double-sided. Amazing. I like it because usually I have to use 2 packs of normal paper to complete one of these books because I never have enough sheets. The pages, which I will tell you about here in a second, we get to the signatures. I'm going to cut this edge because this, let's see, we got 5, what am I going to show you? I forgot already, 5.75. Alright, 5.75. And they only sell 3 of these kinds of big packs. I think the other one is like Voyages. And then they sell Alice Wonderland. Both the Alice Wonderland packs. And they're, oh my gosh, do you guys hear that pounding? Can y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? My God, that's my 2-year-old in there getting a bath on the other side of the wall. Oh, God, I don't know why she is always so flipping wound up. She's like a little lunatic at night. Crazy town. And again, I'm cutting these just like a hair under 8.5 and 5.75. These are going to be the liners. Let me get that one for the spine. And it's okay to layer paper if you have to. That's another thing is if you mess up something on here, chances are you can probably cover it up with paper or fix it in some way. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I usually take this and I make a little crease in here just so I know where the book bends. Like so. And that way when it bends, it won't be so bad. It will bend easy, especially if you're putting glue on it. that. There we go. All right. I always put my glue upside down. That way you don't have to shake it to death. I told you I kind of go overkill with the binding stuff, but that's okay. Better safe than sorry. We just want to line it up. Makes it a little bit easier. If you get some glue on the outside, just use a paper towel or this, like what I have. And then I just take my crocodile and poke the holes back through. That way when I'm doing the signatures, and it covers up the... I don't like that. For some reason, I'm just not a fan of the inside grommets. Because it just like, I don't know. I'm okay with them looking on the outside, but I just don't like the inside ones. I guess like everybody's different. When you get a certain way of how you do things and like things, and just stick with it. And then these are going to go over here. And see, we didn't want it to go all the way to the edge because we want it to kind of look like a book, you know? Like what we're supposed to be doing. I'm going to use the clear glue for this one because it comes out just a tad thinner. See, I told you you don't have to have a cover for it. It's wonderful. And these little icing bottles are amazing. It doesn't do the burping thing what the other ones did, what in its original bottle, I guess, which is nice. And then you could take your, I can never remember what that stupid thing is called. The smoother thing. I call it the smooth, but what is it, a bone thing? Yeah, I just, you know what I did is I just took the bottle, took the lid off of it, and just left it and let it drain completely out. And they don't have any kind of lids with them, but this one does not work well in that. This one, perfect. It does not dry out. It's been in there for a month, and it's been perfectly fine. And it's kind of nice because it works like immediately when I need it. And it doesn't have all that gobbledygook come out of it. Alright, one liner down. And it feels good and stiff too, which is awesome. I had some glue up here. Let me get that out of here. This is great, by the way. I think they probably sell this by itself. I don't know. But I like the little tip on it, and it's easy to clean. So that makes it nice. The only problem is I get glue on my hands, and I have to... I like panic a little bit if I get something stuck to my fingers, which I don't like. I forgot to put some glue all the way to the edge over here on this binding, so I'm going to just make sure I've I didn't get it glued well. I want it to be glued really well. But yeah, I get glue on my fingers and that freaks me out a little bit. That's why I don't like making anything with dough or clay, because I can't handle, I have a thing with textures. Alright, next liner. You know what I do also is I have a nail file, like a light one, and if you go like this on your hands, it comes right off. It's a lot better than trying to get, yeah, the bone folder thingy-mabobber. This is a Cricut one, an old school Cricut one. I have one of the first Cricuts that use those little cartridge things in my daughter's room, and she uses it. I had like a bunch of cartridges that went with it. Thank God they don't do that anymore, because that was a pain in the butt. And I stole that out of there. I said I want that because I use it all the time. So, but yeah, I like it. I think you can still buy it on Amazon or wherever. I don't know. I'll have to look and see. Because I like this better than the other ones that like came with like bookbinding stuff. I don't like those at all. I like this because it's got the point on it. And it just, I don't know, works well. Same with the Cricut cutter trimmer thing. It works really good. So, and you can replace the blades when they get crazy. And I end up just using that one. Alright. That's the way it looks. Now, I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to poke the holes back through so I can sew the signatures. And that's really easy though. I got to do the smaller hole. The smaller punch. Like I said, this is just my own method. If you find a method that you like better, then run with it. This is my own thing. I kind of can look at something and tell how it's made, and then I just do it my way. I would recommend a good tutorial on it. But I never watched a book binding tutorial before, so I don't know if anybody knows of any good ones. Probably, oh my God, my mind just went blank. Golden Book Lady. My mind just went completely blank. She has some good ones, too. Which you don't have to use a golden book. So, see? Tiny little holes. And it doesn't look bad. And there's metal underneath. And then there's your cover. And what I usually like to do is, I got this Dollar Tree. And you can take, I like the flexible lace. Stuff that can move. Because no. Hobby Lobby is definitely not more expensive than Amazon. It depends on what you're getting. This is like anywhere from $12 to $18 on Amazon. It's $5.49 at Hobby Lobby. So I try to get that from there. But I also put this on here, which will look good. Doing that. I'll probably wait until I fidget with the signatures first. But there's the liner. I'm trying to put it all in the thing. And it's good and sturdy. It's heavy. I think this book weighs over 2 pounds when I'm done with it. And let's see. Okay, so this is... Let me get this out of the way so I can move this. I use embroidery floss. And I will sew each signature twice through. I go through once tie it, go through again, tie it, just so it's secure. I need a color. All right. We have greens. There's one here and one that's a little bit darker. And then I have these browns. This one I would lean more towards than these two because it's kind of got a reddish and it kind of matches. So let's put these two here. So I don't know which. I don't really like the lighter green either. I think it's going to be out of these two. This one or this one. Or reddish brown. I'm thinking the brown because if I do a spine dangle or like embellishments on here, they're going to be bronze. And I think that would kind of go with it. I wish I had more of a reddish brown or like I think we're going with brown. Oh, maybe. All right. I don't know. See, that's hard. This is where I always get stuck. This is what it here. This is what it would look like. It's gonna be like in these two holes up here and up here. And then this one would be, oh, I think brown. I think the brown. It's embroidery floss. It's just embroidery floss. I'll show you how I secure it in there so it ain't gonna move. We're gonna use this. All right, now I can put this to the side and let it cure. And I'm gonna show you the pages. Okay, so I'm doing the writing journal, the writing paper that everybody is baffled how I made. My husband made it in Microsoft Excel. I'm not really sure the parameters, but I think all he did was just do a table and then split it up into 2 columns. And then he had to fiddle with it quite a bit. And then what he did was he created, this is like 1 page, and then he created 2 pages. And then what I do is when I print it out, I do double-sided printing, and then it does that. So, and all this is 120 pack of craft brown paper. I use a specific paper because I like the thickness of it. I don't like the rolls. I got glue on my fingers and I'm going to have an aneurysm again. And so what I do is the book has 36 of these pages. And I am low maintenance. I don't like cutting paper if I don't have to. So this is just 8.5 by 11. And then what I do is, yeah, okay. So yeah, you could do it on Canva. And I hate cutting paper, so I like to leave it like this. And what I did was, this is why I make my book size the way that I do. So I don't have to cut as much paper. The only paper that I do have to cut is the Stamperia paper. I left this one unfolded so you could see. And if you hold it up to the light, the lines are exactly right on the same on each side because I'm anal and I wanted to make sure they were even. So 36 brown pages. And here they are all folded. Ready to go. I have them split up into 3 signatures. Nobody wants to see me fold pages for 10 minutes. So I folded them already. I didn't fold the Stamperia papers. There's 9 pages in here. These are cut down to 11 by 8.5. So that's what I did with these. And I like to, cut it to where it looks pretty too. Because these are going to be folded like this. And see, some of these pages, there's 6 pages that are going to be unfolded. And then the middle page where the signatures are tied and everything, those are going to be my pocket pages. So that way, when I glue them, see, isn't that pretty? When I glue them into a pocket, I put glue over the embroidery floss, and that's how I hold them in from moving. And they're super secure. And I also put little strips of paper, oh, I love that, in the inside between the signatures on the spine, and that way your signatures don't move, because that drives me crazy. I want everything to, you know, be like it's 20 years old and stay in place, so to speak. So I want it, that's why I left these unfolded, so that way you could see what the pages look like, because they look different when you have them. And I cut them in a certain way so that way I could have them. But this is why I go through 2 paper packs, is because I have, these are 8.5 by 11, and I gotta have 9 of them. And usually Stamperia paper has tags and other things in there. And if I've already used like 3 pieces to do the liners and the covers, well, there's only 10 pages in the pack. So that's why I always end up having to use 2. And then I use the extra paper to make ephemera for it and all kinds of stuff. I always make a bookmarker and little page inserts. See, it's pretty. This is like a bluish color. I don't mind this blue. When we're talking about sapphire blue, I want to gouge my eyes out, because I don't like blue. I'm kind of a pink girl, if you haven't noticed. And then here's the other sheet. It's kind of like a cross between music and, I had no idea I'd like cut that almost perfectly in the middle. I'm not really sure what they're going for on this paper. It's just called Imagine. So I guess it's just anything you can think of. I also took all the sheets out of there. It's called Imagine, and it is a 22 paper pad, double-sided. It's one of the big pads that Stamperia sells. So that's how, so this is what they look like. Alright, so here are the 36 sheets, and there's 9 here, so I have to have 3 in each one. So I will divide them up, and I also have to be careful, because when I do, I have to decide which ones are going to be the pocket pages. I kind of want to put a face in each one. I think that'll be good. We'll make this one the pocket page. That's going to go in the middle, because these ones are really pretty on the inside and stuff. So, and then here's, maybe make that one. Oh, I don't want to make that one. And then, let me see. Oh no, we got to leave that. You won't make this one the pocket page, but I'm going to make this one a side pocket so I don't ruin the face. So I'll put that one over there. Then, let's see. Oh, that's hard. I'll make this one the pocket one, and this one's going to be an upper pocket. Alright, so the way that I do it is, I will sit here, start with a Stamperia page, and then I do 6 of these, just like this. Oh my gosh, it's only 8:30. Heck yeah. Now, I'm going to get this book done today. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I'm going to do the other page. Yep. And then the other 6 pages. I love even numbers. That's why I do it this way. These are odd numbers. I've never, let's see, what do we got? 4, 5, 6, yep. And then the pocket page is going to go right here in the middle, like that. So we're going to do that one as pocket page. I'm going to put it to the side. Let's fix these other ones. And this one, I think, was going to be make this one the first page. The first page right here is always going to be the one that you see when you're in between the signatures. So, actually, 0 is an even number. If 0 is in the ones column, it's an even number. But that's okay. I get what you mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, that's my teacher coming out at me. You would not believe how many times I had to explain that to my daughters when I'm teaching them. The things kids say. Oh my gosh. Let's see. And we're going to make this one. I will also, if I can get my dumb printer up here to quit being a pain in the butt, I will also start printing some of these to put in my Etsy shop, like in packs of like 25, I think. I just have to sit there and figure it all up. That one's giving me our little pocket page. The line sheets. I've had a lot of people want those. And I don't mind doing it. Sometimes my printer is a little jerk, has a mind of its own. I have a better one downstairs. I just don't like to run up and down the stairs to go and use it. One of these days I'll switch them out. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't. The Hobby Lobby sticker on there. And then, oh, that's pretty. Okay. We're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. And I haven't coughed, and I don't have a cough drop in my mouth. Woohoo! That's a happy day. And my asthma feels pretty good right now. So I'm good. I can breathe. All right. So the one thing I do is whenever I am sewing in the signatures, I start from the back and work my way to the front. That makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going to, where's that one? I think we're going to make this one the first. Which one was that one? I'm going to make this one. It's definitely going to be the middle one. I'll make this one the middle one. I guess it really doesn't matter, but it matters only with the pocket pages. Because I like to make a side one, a top one, and then a side one. So that's what I usually do with them because I like it that way. Okay, the binding tool that everybody's always asking about is, let me get this, is this little doodad right here. It's okay. It's I got it as a gift from somebody that I have no idea who. Somebody just saw it and I guess thought I could use it and never told me about it. But it's got this little curve in it right here. It's We Are Memory Keepers book binder, I think it's called. It's saved in my Amazon supply list. That way you don't have to remember what it is. And here I have it marked because I use this a lot. So I have the little, and I use the middle one here and here and, you know, where those are marked. So I don't have to go and figure it all out again because it's a pain in the butt. And it's nice when to start it, but it's not necessary. I mean, you can use all kinds of stuff, but it does have a curve in it, and hopefully I'll get it in there nice and straight. And this side thing right here, I've had somebody ask me how to use that. I haven't used it yet. I only use it for this, and that's it. And these little doohickeys come off right here. So you could take this whole thing off, which I probably would like this if it was like on a wooden block and there was, you know, a side, because it would be a lot easier. Because this is how I like to punch the holes in when it's like this, because then you don't have to try to find where the crease is. That makes it easier. And it can come off, and it can go on the other side. I just do this like for the first page. And what I do is, since I already have them marked, I already know where to punch it at, which makes it easier. And so it makes these little holes right in here. And I always check and make sure that they are lined up with the holes in my book, and they usually always do, but you always want to make sure, because you never know what craziness can happen before you punch everything out. And then what I do is I take the first 6 pages here. I only do this for the first page of each of the books, using this on the signatures. And then I sit here and I just go like this, and I will find the hole and punch a hole through it. I can find the flipping hole. There we go. That. You can also hold it and do it. It's not, don't overthink it. It's not rocket science. This, it's a Bluetooth speaker. It's a D-Boom Bluetooth speaker. That's what it does. It also plays music and stuff like that. I usually use it more for a clock because it's loud, even on a low setting. But yeah. Or if nobody's home and I'm listening to one of my dirty audiobooks, that's what I do with it. But yeah, that's what that is. I always have the worst trouble trying to... Oh, I am through. Trying to find the holes to it. It's a handy little gadget. It's not a necessary gadget. But... yeah, I listen to dirty audiobooks. Let me tell you. Oh, what is that one I'm listening to? The Wicked Woodleys. Woo! Lord, you see my face go red. And my husband's like, are you listening to a dirty book again? And I'm like, nope. Not one bit. Or I listen to like psychological thrillers. I have a very broad spectrum. But, yeah. I listen to dirty audiobooks. And my face will usually say it all. When it gets to one of them parts and you're like, well, hey. Alright. So use that first page as a guide to help you poke the holes in the rest of the signatures and the rest of the signature. And that way... you don't have to sit there and you don't have any mess ups either, see? Then you know that they're all even. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to sew this one in first. Wait a minute, I just did the front one. Let me do another one. And we can use that for the front or back. So... Yeah, so we are memory keepers. That's the binding thingamabobber. Okay. So here's the fun part. This is the easy part. Let me just make sure. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is an accurate way to see that holes. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the holes are there. They're good. And then I just use one of these handy dandy little normal, not behemoth looking sewing needles. Let me find where my normal one is that I use. There it is. I don't know why they're enormous. So when you're doing your signatures and you're hand sewing them like this, I've sewed them on sewing machines and this way and all kinds of other ways. You want to, first of all, have a little tail. That's the easy part. And put that at the end, right here. That's going to be your little extra. That's it. If you screw up, there you go. So you're going to count it out. It's just one signature, or like one page length. So you just kind of one. And since I sew it twice, I go 2, and then I give a little bit of an extra tail over here. Like I said, you never know what can happen. Find some scissors. Better to be safe than sorry. And we're gonna put this in here. Oh my god, I got glue on my fingers again. That's gonna drive me crazy. Okay. Alright, the first round is usually the most difficult to get in. It takes a little bit of finesse. We're just gonna go, and also, if you notice, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 holes because I'm even. So even holes mean that your thread will be on one side. If you do an odd number, you're going to have one on this side, one on this side, one on this side. Don't do odd numbers. That way you can have them both when you're done sewing them in. They will be all on one side. We are memory keepers. It's like a book binding. I don't know what it's exactly called. I saved it in my book binding list on journal supplies on Amazon because I can't remember the names of all these punches and stuff. If you guys saw the drawer full of punches that I had, you'd be like, oh my god, what's that one? And I would be like, I have no idea. That's why I save it. But I have it all on my book binding stuff. And then start with the first hole. We're going to go through and make sure you leave a little tail out. And then this is where it always gets fun because it always gets tricky. And you can push your needle all the way through first. Oh, look at that. It's going to be easy tonight. Not going to be difficult. And don't worry about it being loose because we will tighten that up before we tie it the first time. Like I said, I tie twice because I want to make sure that nothing happens. That's just how I roll. I'm paranoid when it comes to stuff, so I want to make sure that it's going to be good. You can also do this, and you want to make sure that it stays nice and even. I do not take the needle off until I'm done, because I'm not done yet. You can kind of pull it a little bit like this, and you pulled it tight. And then I will sit here and tie it like this. And if it's a little loose, don't freak out and don't redo it. Because mine are usually not always perfect, but I try to make sure that it's good and not loose before. Okay, just pull it tight. So now, needle's still on there. That's what the first line looks like. Yeah, girl. I started making this book cover. Oh my god, what time? 7 o'clock. I'm pretty quick at doing this stuff. And then I just do it again. Alright, come on, come on. And this is where it always gets fun. The sucky thing about doing it twice, though, is when you can't move the book. But usually if you get it in there the first time, it will go in the second time. And you maybe make the thread just a hair longer. I usually do it like 2 or 3. Alright. See what I mean? It wants to be difficult. I spoke too soon. There we go. We got it! Yay! Alright. Can't really leave myself much to tie. So I'll make the next one a little longer. But it will still work. And I'm going to show you what I do with these pages. For some reason, I have a thing about seeing the thread. And so I will sit there and make these in pocket pages. Double knot it. And then I glue it all down. Make sure we're good. We're good. Okay. So this is the back one. So I'm going to make this. And this will move a hair. I put strips of paper in between so it won't move. Okay. So I use this 3-in-1. This is going to be the back. Oh my God. You know what I just thought of? Oh, good. That's the one thing I always forget is check your signature and make sure you're not sewing it in upside down, because I have done that. You know? Bad. Yeah, I'll post this to YouTube. It might take me like 2 forevers and a Sunday to download the thing. Okay, so this one's going to be a side pocket. And I'm going to cover this sucker in glue right here. Because this is the part that I dread, because I have to touch it. I don't like to, because I don't like things stuck to my fingers. And I just go to the edge right there, because this is going to be a side open pocket. And I like this. I'm also going to be working on a book that's going to have a little bit things. So I just go like this, rub it in, and see, now this is glued down. This will be glued down, and you won't be able to see it because it's going to be a pocket, and it's the middle page of the signature. And you'll have to hold it just for a second, because this glue is like, I work 9 to 5. I'm not working any quicker than that. And see, it will be open right there because obviously there's no glue. And see, now I have glue on my finger. Hang on a minute. Let me have a panic attack real quick. Blah. That always like drives me crazy. So now you have a cute little pocket in here. And you have your signatures in there. And see, now you can't see it. And so, there you go. And while you're working, you can also take like a little clip like this. You want to get it out of the way so it doesn't like open. You can go like that. Just keep it together. And then it's out of your way. So that's the easy part. This glue it's Beacon's 3-in-1. And I recommend you put it in these Sweet Sugar Bell icing bottles, because then you don't have to put a lid on it, and it doesn't talk back, meaning it doesn't gurgle out everywhere. It's this. There you go. That's what it is. Take a screenshot, whatever. It's a little, I don't know if this is the same as Fabri-Tac. I see Fabri-Tac all the time, but it's the same brand. I would assume so. I don't know if that one's just specifically for fabric. I have no idea. But I usually use this all the time. Except with, if I'm working just with paper, I use this. And everything. Okay. All right. Now let's do the other page while that one's hanging out. All right, next one. This we could do. Oh, God, I got something stuck to my finger again. Okay, so, like I said, take that first page off. And we're going to... God, I'm going to lose my needle. I know I'm going to lose it. And right here, right here, right here, right here. I like to draw on all my stuff because it makes it easier to, especially when you want to get it done. Make sure my line is, and if you want, you can also take a pencil and draw a line down the middle, because you're not going to see this, or, well, yeah, you'll see this page. You can do that with the middle page. And that way you don't have to worry about it being off. Oh, heck yeah, I got it. Okay. I just like to do this. That smell of that glue, I swear I get stoned off of it all the time. This does not smell like anything. That is like, I start getting loopy after a while. So, yeah. That's stinky glue. Alright. I'm going to do a few pages at a time. Oh, wow. Thank you guys for all the likes and shares and all that good stuff. It makes my job a lot easier. Then I can actually concentrate on this. I just use this as like a little reference, that top page. So that way I don't have to constantly, I mean, I am not doing like 36 pages of this. That would, no. And then the chances of it being like off. Where's my, there we go. Did I find the hole? See, this thing is okay. It's just, I don't know. It could be a little bit better. There we go. Alright. Then, let's move that. I'll probably go ahead and do the other signature so I don't have to come back and do this. And just get them both sewn in. Here we go. Yeah, I'll post this video to my YouTube channel. Like I said, it will probably be done downloading like tomorrow. But I'll post it and I'll put all that info in there about the pages and all that good stuff. Here we go. Alright, and just put them back together. I'm going to make sure all the holes are even because that makes hand sewing the signature easier. A lot easier. And I'll put what paper this is. I don't know if I have this in stock right now. I know it was back ordered from Stamperia, but I don't know if I actually have another one in stock at the moment. I think I have the Voyager one, which is like the travel steampunky kind of pages or whatever. And maybe Alice in Wonderland with the Alice in the Looking Glass one. Let me make sure. I'm just going to go ahead and do this one while I'm at it. Yeah, if you use the middle page, you can just draw a line and then it's a lot easier. I ought to do that. No, why I didn't think of that before. Luckily, I'm nailing them right in the middle, so. There we go. Oh my god, it did use the middle page. Ha ha. It's almost 9 o'clock. I'm tired. I hope you guys had a good New Year's because I had a very boring one. I always fall asleep. I think I fell asleep watching The Big Bang Theory. We're boring. We don't really ever do anything. My neighbors have fireworks. That was about it. They have fireworks for every flippin' holiday. I'm like, it's Halloween, why do you have fireworks? And why do you, or it will be St. Patrick's Day or something like that. And I'm like, what the heck? But it's entertaining, no less. We have a dog, but our dog could give a flip. She doesn't care about fireworks at all. She sleeps right through them. Doesn't even bark. But she's a crotchety old pug. We'll get in there. She'll be 12 this year. It's such a brat. Everyone thinks she's a puppy. She's not. I swear to God, I can't find this hole. So that's what she said. Where's Hayden when you need him? Oh my gosh. There we go. And we have liftoff. I live in Tennessee. Right down the road from Nikki. I've never met her in person. But yeah, there's a bunch of us here in East Tennessee. About, I don't know, a couple hours from Aisha down there in Georgia. And let's see, there's, oh God, who else is here? East Tennessee. Oh, Brittany. Brittany is, she's right down the road from me. Oh yeah. For some reason, we all like, I don't know, just, we're all, I'm not from Tennessee, if you can't tell. My husband, if you hear him talk, he sounds country bumpkin. But he's from Crossville. I'm actually from Florida. Florida, originally. I moved up here in 2003. Oh my gosh, it's actually been like 20 years since I moved up here. January of 2023. Or January of 2003. I moved up here. I was born and raised in Ocala, Florida. And I actually went to school with Megan Boone. We graduated the same class, same year, 2001. If you don't know who Megan Boone is, she's the actress on The Blacklist. She's always been a weirdo. I don't have a Tennessee accent. Are you saying, oh, you love a Tennessee accent? I was like, no. I probably sound so Yankee. My mom was from Philadelphia and my dad was from Maine. I had no hope of ever getting like a Southern accent at all. Yay, here we go. Not one bit. I say weird things though. My husband makes fun of me all the time. Like, hot. I don't say hot dog. I say hot dog. I don't know why. My mother, oh, she was from Philly and she always said crowns. And I'm like, you mean crayons? And yeah, crowns. So, yeah. And my children sound like me. They don't sound like that. No, I turned 40 last year. I'll be 41 this year. Turning into an old fart. Alright. Here we go. Let's sew in these signatures. Alright, so which one should I make the first signature? The one that's going to go in the front. I'm thinking maybe this one, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I know. Yankees. Oh, I love an Australian accent. I find it mesmerizing. I like any kind of accent that's not American. Alright, and we're even Steven. Alright, let's get this going. So, 1, 2, and 1 for good luck. My needle's over here. I know it is because I made sure. I know I like faces too. I'm not really sure what they're going for in this book. It's just called Imagine. And it's kind of got music stuff in it. Faces, dresses. It's got all kinds of stuff in it. I guess anything you can imagine. I don't know. So, alright, this one's going to be the middle one. And make sure that you have that little tail at the end. I made this floss a little bit longer than the last one. And, of course, it's going to make it... I even up my pages here. The first time through is always the difficult one. That's when you got to get all your pages in line and make sure they stay that way. They don't like to. I also found that if you do it this way, it kind of helps. You can also put the needle all the way through the spine, and that way you can kind of see what you're doing. You'll get it. I'll get it eventually. And if you can't get it in there, use that. Where's that little... use this thing. That helps too. Poke it in that end. I always have one that's always like this. Let's see what's happening. Alright, you're gonna be just rotten. Alright, I'm gonna lay this flat. There we go. And you can also lay it like this. So that way when you poke it through, sounds terrible. Like I'm giving smut directions on stuff. There we go. Okay. Isn't it like the next day already in Australia, isn't it? It's gotta be. Okay, don't take the thread out. And then you want to pull this tight so that way the string isn't loose on the other side. We're going to tie it once, and then we're going to sew it again, and then we'll glue it, and we're going to make an upper pocket this time. And if it's loose, it's okay. It's all going to be glued down. Now it's easier whenever you go to sew it again, because everything is all lined up already. I'll have to deal with the rebellious one. Once you get the hang of making books, it actually is really relaxing. It's neat seeing what you can come up with. Sometimes I have to set it up like this so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Now we can take that off. Just going to tie it again. And one more time. Scissors are sitting right there in front of me. Okay, so this one is going to be a middle pocket. Upper pocket. So let's get our glue going here. And the way that I'm going to glue this, put the glue all over here. That's going to hold that in real good. Going to go along the bottom, up the side, just like that. We're going to hold that in. There, forgot to rub it down. I guess I was trying to avoid that, but you can't avoid it. You can, I guess, use a Q-tip or something. I just don't feel like going to get one. Oh yeah, that works too. Leather making kits have good punches for them. Yes indeed. Okay, so see, this one's going to be open here at the top. And then last signature going in. And also click that in out of your way. Thank goodness we have the holes already done. See, and they're even. That's what we like. Okay. Remember, go 1, 2, and leave a little extra. Needle's trying to run away. Okay. Alright, and this one's going to be a side pocket. So I did side pocket, upper pocket, and then side pocket. Those are fantastic for little inserts and all that good stuff. And then I usually will do the little liner thing between the signatures and then the lace on the spine. Let it dry, and then I make all the goody stuff for it. Like, I make a bookmarker, I make page inserts. Sometimes I do tags and pockets throughout. Okay. Okay, and I always do it twice because that's just easier. So I'm going to pull this one just a hair through. I think this string might be a little long. I want to make sure I have enough to tie this off. So just pull it tight, and that kind of evens it up. And make sure that there's no loose strings on the other side where the spine is. We'll tie it, and so I'm going to tie it twice. And then we'll sew it one more time, and then they'll all be in there. Yay! Okay. This one's wanting to be a booger. It knows that I'm almost done, and so it's like, yeah, wait. There we go. And as you can see, I'm like really handling the cover, so and the cover's doing just fine. All that paper binding tape and the way that I have it glued. Also, when you pull it tight, it kind of evens up your signatures. Make sure it's not crooked when you pull it first time. Alright, yay! Alright, so this one's going to be the side pocket. Come on, get down there. Okay. Then, still got time. I'll show you guys how I do the pockets. I put little eyelets and stuff like that in there. Make them look all fancy. That way you can hang charms or whatever you want off of there. Okay, now you guys are talking about snakes, ocean, and Australia. Yeah, see, I couldn't handle Australia. I thought Florida was bad with the weird creatures. My anxiety would just go nuts. Okay, so there is the pocket. Alright, let me take these off. And here's the first pocket. We're glued, we're ready to go. Make sure this one stays together. Okay, so see how this moves a little bit? I put, like, you don't have to, but I like to put a strip of paper down there in between, so that way it can't shift, because I don't like it moving. I like it being normal. And there we go. So that's, and then it opens all the way. So pockets are easy. Let me get my little, I use this punch. It's a 2-inch circle punch. Use a smaller one if you want to. On the pocket pages, let me move this thing out of the way. Okay, so this one is side one. So I always put a hole here and here, and that way you can do little dangly thingamabobbers right there. Look. And right there. You also have to watch it because the stupid one down here, I poked holes in pages before that were underneath, and I like had a full-blown conniption bit. And then the eyelets are really easy. I think somebody on Facebook may have asked me about that. That's all I do for the eyelets on these pages. I just think it gives a little something, something extra. You can get the washers out. And again, I have it set on 2 on the bottom, A on the top. I hope if I... And then that's it, right there. Makes a nice little pretty thing. Thank you guys for answering questions, because I'm oblivious sometimes. Make sure I move this over so you guys can see. Stock. Yep, bottom fell out, top fell out. This is always the hard part, is trying to keep it not falling off the thing. Maybe third time is a charm. There we go. So, there's the grommets. Nice, and this is how they're supposed to look, by the way. If yours don't look like that, then you're not doing it right. Or your thing's messed up because it's a crocodile. So, what I do is I like to make this known pocket page. I take this, and I usually leave this open so I can see. And I'll put like a little insert, just kind of in the middle like that. I'm like I'm breaking them. So there, it's a pocket page. And then I'll put a card in there with probably a ribbon or something. And then that way everybody knows what's happening. And then right here, you could use like bulb pins. If you don't know what a bulb pin is, it's these. You can put a bulb pin right there and put a little charm on it. Make it all pretty. And let's see, where's middle page here? So there's the one signature in. See how pretty that looks? Oh. Here, I'll put it this way so y'all can see it all in there. And, oh gosh, let me tell you something. I just do it the way that my brain comprehends it. I have no idea. This is a top open pocket page. I always use the top one, and I make a bookmarker. It's called Imagine by Stamperia. It's a maxi pad. Don't laugh at the name. It's got 22 sheets in it. Alright, let me make sure that page. I only do one hole right here for the upper one, and I always make a bookmarker. And if you guys would like, maybe I will save this book for next Monday and do all the little embellishment stuff for it, because that's like the fun. Oh my god, I got glue on my fingers again. That's all the fun stuff. I won't do anything else with it, and I may save it for next Monday. We'll finish it up, and that way you guys can see. I'll finish up the book part, though. And then we can do the spine dangle dog on it. And everything. I actually like doing the embellishments. Probably the best. Like, I need somebody to mass produce these books so I can embellish it, and then I'd be happy. But it is kind of fun making the book from scratch. There we go. I only do one on this one. And do the little I'm gonna do this kind of weird. Gosh, like, so there's that one. And this is going to hold a bookmarker, and then the bookmarker will have the little tassel looking ribbon thingamabobber on it. And then put a little thing, oh god, little dangly thing on there. And then this one is the side pocket. Alright, let's... I think the front one's always the easiest one to do. And yes, I promise I will print out some of these pages for my Etsy shop. I'll do them like in packs of like 25 or something like that. I have tons of brown paper. I've had so many people ask me if I could print them some and everything, so I'll just print some and put them in there. Because I had to have my husband make the paper because I was like, I can only get it on one side. And so I was like, make it to where it's on both sides. And then I want to double print it, like on each side at the same time. And I don't know what he did, but he made it happen. There we go. This came out good. I have glue on my finger. All right. Yes, I'm going to obsess about the glue on my finger until it's off. Alright. So, there's the last pocket. So, 3 pocket pages that covers up the embroidery thread in the middle, so you don't see any thread except for on the spine. And then I like to leave this open so I could put some fancy little doodad thing in there. And the last thing I'll probably do, maybe, is I'm going to put this lace right here. I love putting this on my borders. You have to use like flexible, like this kind, not like that stiff stuff, or it's going to be like not wanting to move. I'm sorry, I'm reading a comment. And I'm going to use this crafter's pick because this does really well with fabrics and stuff. And it dries clear. So if you see it all gobbledygooked up, it's okay. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. I'm going to spread it around a little bit. This is why I always have glue on my fingers. Because this right here. I don't know why, but this, the lacy stuff like this just works really, really well. It's very flexible, moves very well. And if you see any glue right there, don't worry, it will dry clear, which is nice. Get this off. Gotta get the glue off. Well, hi and welcome. I'm weird, just fair warning. Most people know that by you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Put a little of this right in here just to hold it in just a little bit. This works good on fabric too. I just prefer that. I feel like I'm cheating on Crafter's Pick if I use this stuff because I've used that longer. And if I like I said, I like the Stamperia paper. You can do this with like plain paper too. Just make sure it's thick. Like it's not like computer paper thin, because if it's computer paper thin, it ain't gonna work. That's the other thing I like about this is if you hold it flat, it will just go real thin layer right across. Make sure I put this the right way. Can you tell that I'm good at doing caulking, like in the bathroom and stuff? I've done that plenty of times. I don't like it, but I do it. And just make sure your ribbon is even on both sides, because that would drive me nuts. I know it would drive other people nuts. You can measure your ribbon ahead of time. I usually do, but all right, let me turn it over here. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this and that in there. Just make sure I got my bases covered. I told you I tossed this book around completely. All right, there's that. To let that dry. So, like I said, I'm gonna put. Let's see what I got here. Let's see what I got in my drawers. I have all kinds of metal. I like metal embellishments. That's my thing. But I mean, like, really, who doesn't? I got a big box of metal goodies. This is a huge book it's a storage box, and it keeps all my metallurgy stuff in it. Everywhere. Let's see what I got. I got these little doohickeys. I try to stick with a bronzy type theme, if that's what I'm using for the grommets or eyelets, whatever you want to call them. So, let's see what we got here. I always use one of these. And this is going to go on the back of the book like this, and it will have my 4 girls stole my heart. I have one of these that I put on all my books, so everybody knows who it's by, in case somebody gives it as a gift or something like that. They don't have to ask, and it's pressed. It says 4 girls stole my heart on it. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Let me find a piece of paper. my stamp it right here. And there you go. I usually use some distressed ink to highlight it. And then I will put this right here around it. And then I'll glue that on the back. And oh yeah. Amazon, 20 bucks. And it's customizable. That's what I did. And they give you a case for it and everything. And so that's the good thing. Color that in a minute. Alright. So I want to put something on the spine. Right there. Let's see what we got here. I got all kinds of goodies. I like these because since I make these the same size, they fit perfectly in between there. And I like that. So, that's one. That looks like a crown to me, so I can't do that because it would drive me crazy. Let's see. We have flowers on there. I need to use that one for a wider spine. I always forget. The 2.5-inch spine that I did, these work good on. Let's see where I'm running out of these things. I use these all the time. Oh, I got this one. Like that. And that was the one I just showed. Or I swear these look like earrings to me. I would wear them as earrings. That's what I would do. These, that's okay. I know, I'm the first one too. I have no idea. I think I'll have to look it up after the live, and I'll like make a video or something. I do have them saved on my journal supplies list. There's some kind of metal. I think if you type in like metal embellishments on Amazon, like flat metal embellishments, bronze, antique, that will bring, there's tons of them. Or you can do corner ones, like what you put on the corners of books. Let me show you what they look like. They have corner. Let me see. Where did I do? Hold on a minute. I got like 84 drawers over here, so I have to, and they're labeled, and I just redid it. And I gotta find where I put those. I might have wrote it on there. But if you look up metal book corners, you'll get in the loop of those things. And the metal book corners look like they're just like they just go on the top. If you type in metal book corners, you'll get it. Speaking of corners, we got to put corners on too. I totally forgot. I do have metal corners. If I don't have any that fit, I have some coming tomorrow. These. If you look up metal book corners, it will give you these, and then you'll get to this. I don't even know why that's in there. It's black. So, let me see what I got. If I can find 4 of the same one. I have no idea why I don't have 4 of the same ones in here. Usually, I do. I have a bunch of these ones. But they're kind of, well, no, they fit. There we go. Like that. I'll put those probably on there. Unless I find 4. If I find 4 of these, I'll probably do that one. Because it's either that or these. This is gold. I don't even know why that's in there. I had to get some more because they were not fitting. Kind of big. Oh. I think I found another one. Yeah. We'll put these ones on there. And this. So this one is one that looks good. Let me make sure it's all straight. This is why I always keep the spine open. Because I like it. I like adding stuff like this to it. Makes it a lot easier. Just want to add just a little. I usually use my heat gun to kind of accelerate the drying process. So you can use a hair dryer too. So that's what it will look like. If I turn it sideways, it's going to fall off because this one takes a little bit longer to dry. All right. So I will not finish this book. I'll try not to. And next Monday, we'll finish it up and do all the little embellishments and stuff and tags and paper inserts and everything. But for only being like, what was it, like 2.5 hours maybe, a little bit longer, the book, you can make one easy. Now you know why I pop them out so fast. I use 2 different kinds of glue. I use this one, Crafter's Pick Ultimate. This is my go-to glue for everything. If not, it dries clear. As you can see right here, it's all clear underneath. That's what I use for the edges. And then this one is the Beacons 3-in-1 Ultimate. I put it in this Sweet Sugar Bells icing bottle, and you don't have to have a cap for it, and it doesn't gurgle or do anything like that. What was the other question? I just saw another. Oh, the size. This size is 8.5 by 6, and the spine is 8.5 by 2. The last book I made, the one that looks Spanish, the spine was 2.5. And so sometimes I make it 2.5. The wider the spine you make, the more stuff you could shove in here. Just remember that. And I'm looking at all you guys' questions. I know, isn't it pretty? Now, and you know, I have such separation anxiety when it comes to books. I tell my husband all the time, if somebody buys my books, I'm like, I don't want to give it away. Because that's just, I don't want to. You know, I have the worst separation anxiety with it. Let me get my distressed ink here, and I'll put that thing on the back. That way, it will all be done. I think I'm going to use the aged mahogany because there's like a little bit of red color in it, just to do my little label. Yeah, I'll show the inside. Give me just a second. I just made this book from scratch, so if anybody's asking, yeah, I know I have separation anxiety too. If anybody's asking about the cover, that was started at like 7 o'clock. I hate measuring stuff unless I absolutely have to. So I like doing things a difficult way, like this. Since it's going to be underneath that, I'm just going to do it this way. I hope if I have it the right way. Okay. Let me find a doodad. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Like I said, I'm trying to put myself on a schedule of doing lives on a certain date and not spontaneous, like a lunatic. So I'm going to probably do Mondays at 7. 7 is just a good all around number for me, because then I can go get my workout done, get my husband to tame the wild beasts that are my children. Everything. Thank you guys for the likes. It's aged mahogany, by the way. I have too many of these. Too many. When I say too many, I mean like I should have, like, go to Distress Things Anonymous or something, because it's a sickness, I think. And if you guys sell your books, I highly recommend you do this. And the only reason is because, and I've spoken to some other people in the past about this, is there's some people are out there not very honest people and will buy your stuff and try to sell it as their own, and it sucks, but that kind of helps deter that. And yes, it has happened. Sad but true. Okay, so yeah, I put these on all my books because of that. Just, better safe than sorry. We're still hanging. Yay, we're still on there. We're hanging. So, like I said, let me put the corners on, and then next Monday, we'll do all the fun stuff. We're going to spine dangle, and do inserts, and I'll put this somewhere out of sight, out of mind, so I won't touch it, because if I see it, I will touch it, and then I'll be like, sorry guys, I messed with it. And put these on real quick. Just make sure. Yep, it's on there. I think this is a good idea to do these. Just helps from getting all banged up and nicked up, the edges. Because if your book is going to come undone, like the papers are going to get messed up, it's usually right here where you fold it. And it only takes a second. Move that just a hair over. And you don't have to add glue to it. I know some people do. You don't have to do that. Just make sure it's on there. Give it a tug when you're done. You're good. Unless you really want to. I like the less work approach better. That's kind of overkill for me. Alright. So, the inside, I promised I'd show the inside. Alright, here's the outside. Let's spine, and then the back. 3 signatures. And then here we go. Here, let me see if I can zoom out. Let me see if I can. There we go. So, here's all the pages. Got our line pages. There's our pocket page right there. And our other line pages. This is just the first signature. Middle. And there's our next pocket page. This is where the bookmarker is going to go. That's my favorite thing to do, is the bookmarkers. I love making bookmarkers. And so that's signature number 2. This is signature number 3. And we're stuck. And there's nothing on there. I probably touched it with my glue fingers. And then here's the next pocket. Got the eyelets. Yeah, I think it's kind of like music themed. I don't know. More. Oh my gosh, I thought that was a rip right there. Oh, heart attack. Do you see? It blends in with the pages. That's the other side of that page. And then there's the back page. That's gorgeous. I love that. So, and that's it. That's all she wrote. And then, if you could see, and when you open it, it lays flat, which is what we like. Because when you're working, you could sit there and clip it, work, write, whatever you want. So that's why I make the cover the way that I do. And it fits nicely on a shelf. And there's all kinds of variations you can do on this. Put a ribbon inside of the liner on both sides, and that way it could tie closed. You could put an eyelet closure. You could do all kinds of stuff. You could do the little bungee closure thing. Yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock on there going across. And the other thing is, I gotta put a pull ring. I don't really want to. No, it's not red. That's like a reddish thing. There we go. That's where our little spine dangly wangly thing is going to hang. And you can find these on Amazon. I also have them saved in my Amazon thing. Oh yeah, I do sell them. They do not stay in my Etsy store very long. I will say that. Last one I had sold in just a few minutes. And also the other thing that I do is when I put this in here, that's another reason I put a liner over the paper, so then you don't see it. Because hidden is much better. Let me turn it around here. You can see. So, that's the next thing I'll do, and I'll save it for next Monday, is covering that bad boy up. And when you put the paper over it, it holds these little suckers in place. They're not really moving too much, but if you see it, it kind of moves a little bit. Well, once you put the papers right here, they ain't going nowhere. So that's what I do. So, there we go. And that's where the spine dangle will go on. And you can hook them on really easy with like these little hook clasp things, stuff like that. Which is nice, because then if you want to change it out, you can. So, there we go. Everybody like? everybody want me to save it for next Monday so you could see all the embellishments I do to it. Because if you don't, I'm going to embellish it and I'll be done with it tomorrow. But I'll save it for next Monday and then we can embellish it. And that way you guys could see that process. Okay. I'll save it for I'll have my husband hide it for me so I don't mess with it. Also, when you're doing signatures, you see how the pages are like that? Who gives a flip? Just do it like that. That's because you're like lining them up in the inside. Some people want to cut them and stuff. Don't cut them. Just look. It looks fine. It's symmetrical. And who cares? So, you know, I like it because it's a nice little book. And this one, like I said, it's a writing one. All the pages are like this. I am making an art book that will have blank pages in it because I just think that will be better and stuff. So, all right, guys. Oh my gosh, look what time it is. Yes! So, we made a book from start to finish, starting at 7 o'clock. So, not too bad. So, 2.5, 3 hours, you could sit there and make a book. I don't know why it takes some people a month. I know people are busy. I'm busy too. I used to homeschool 4 kids. Now I homeschool 3. And I don't usually work on my stuff until the afternoon. And I worked out for 2 hours today. So it can be done. You just have to not have any distraction and everything. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys joining the live. Thank you guys so much for the likes and shares and follows and all that jazz. And I will save this for next Monday and we'll make it all more gorgeous because it will just be like we just made a cake and now we got to ice it. I'm proud of that though. That flower with the eyelet right through it. Yes. All right. Thank you guys. Yes, I will put a live event on my profile, and then any posts that I make after that, it will remind people of it. And I will download the video to this, and I will put it on my YouTube channel, 4 Girls Stole My Heart, LLC, and that way you guys can go back and watch it. Sound good? All right. Thank you guys. Night, night.